The simplest definition that I personally have for worship is this idea of saying yes to God. Come and meet us. Come and meet us. Oh, We Say Yes is really an expression of that idea and that heart. Just that we come, as we come in worship, we come saying yes. We come just affirming God's leadership in our life again. For me, that's about as simple as it gets. Sometimes that's what I need, is something really simple. We respond to you. About 4 years ago, my family and I moved back to Southern California after being away for a long time. And I found myself as the worship pastor of the Vineyard in Anaheim. Vineyard Anaheim is a historic Vineyard church. This was kind of the headquarters and the birthplace of the Vineyard movement. And a lot of the things that we come to associate with Vineyard worship were also birthed here. So that's a powerful legacy to kind of walk into. Come and lead us. Come and lead us. Oh. One of the things I felt like the Lord said to me in coming back to Vineyard Anaheim was that Vineyard Anaheim was a thin place. The idea of a thin place is a Celtic Christian concept. Basically, the concept is that the veil between heaven and earth are thinner in some places than others. That there's just a place where people meet with God just a little bit easier. As I was coming back here, I felt like the Lord said Vineyard Anaheim was one of these thin places. And then specifically, this sanctuary room was a thin place, and even more specifically, this stage was a thin place. As the worship pastor here, many times when I'm wanting to get away and do some songwriting, the interesting thing is this space is actually the most private space in the building. It's just such a powerful thing to sort of join my voice with the history and legacy of this place. And again, like we have for so many years, just gather in this space and reach our hearts out to God and even press into new ideas, new songs, new melodies, new lyrics, but with that same heart of we're coming to say yes. Back about how many songs have had their public birth here on this stage that went on to impact the wider church. I think about how many worship sets were led here. I think about how many times people have come forward to this area in the front and have met with God, and been burdens have been lifted, and diseases have been removed, and vision has been imparted by the Holy Spirit into hearts, and entire movements and ministries have been birthed by the activity of the Holy Spirit with His people in this physical space. It's amazing. It's amazing. We will follow, giving our yes. And We Say Yes was actually started sitting at this piano right here in this space. So. There you go. That's the story of We Say Yes. We say yes, yes. We give to you our yes.